back to La La Land on CRN Digital Talk. I'm Brett Chapin. That is Daisy Egan. We're here talking with the amazing Tracy Toms. If you have any questions for Tracy, make sure you give us a call.
People
just like Sammy in Philadelphia did at 1-800-336.
We had to coax her.
2225. That's 1-800-336-2225. And Tracy, I have a question.
Sure.
So you've worked on television, film, theater. Do you have a preference between the mediums? And if so, what is it and why?
My preference, if I had to pick, would be theater always.
Yay!
Yeah.
Good choice.
It's not even a real fight. It's not a real competition.
Yeah.
The only thing is the money. You know, but
Right.
once they figure out, once they figure out how to make it lucrative, even slightly as lucrative as TV or film, then I won't ever do probably TV or film again, probably.
You're a theater girl.
I'm a theater girl, and I've been doing it for so long. However, I have developed a love for all of the mediums in recent years. So, but I love them all. I love film. I love TV. I love them for different reasons. I love the things you can do and the way you can reach people differently. I love the accessibility of TV and how people feel like they know you. They feel like they really know you personally.
I like that you get to develop a character.
And you get to develop
over time.
the arc that
I've
lasts
heard.
years.
That's what I've heard.
That's what you've...
Do you feel like the immediate audience reaction in theater is something that draws you to it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the exchange of energy in that space at that time is something that I think is absolutely magical. And I love to walk around New York City and Times Square and while plays are happening. I like walking around while plays are happening, not seeing the show, but just walking the streets and knowing that all these plays are happening at the same time.
Magic.
And all these people have paid all this money.
A lot of money.
To be told a story that they know isn't true. It's like this contract that happens. Like, I know I'm going to pay money to sit here and watch you pretend to be somebody that I know you're not. You know, but I'm going to believe you. I'm going to choose to believe you until you do something that makes me not believe you. But I'm going in, choosing and deciding to believe you and learn something and be changed and be different by the end. And I just think that is such a beautiful tradition that we have, you know, and it's different than movies. Movies, there's a lot, it's not in the moment.
Right.
You know, and the audience, I learned it specifically from doing Stickfly, because we had a very vocal audience because the play was just that kind of play. The audience can start to shift the play, and there's this balance because, you know, our director, Kenny Leon, was like, no, we have to be the carrot. We cannot be the rabbit. We have to lead the audience. We can't be led by the audience because the audience can take over the play if we let them, because it was one of those plays like, no, that didn't just happen, you know. And it's very exciting for us as a primarily black cast when we have middle-aged, upper-class white people yelling at the stage.
Were they really?
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
I was gonna say.
They were yelling at the stage because I don't know if they were. I don't know if they were just inspired by the black members in the audience or they just were so moved. But we had one very pivotal moment. It was like in previews, like the second preview or so, where Ruben Santiago Hudson has a line at the end of the play. And, you know, all this stuff has happened. And this white lady, like in the second row, said, "Oh, shut up, Dr. LeVay," but like loud, you know. "Oh, shut up, Dr. LeVay." We're like, oh, we got the white people talking on the stage. We got something here. We're doing something.
That's when you know that it's a success, when the white people start talking up. Yeah.
You know, and then at the end when we're, you know, doing a curtain call and white people are in the front two rows, because we can see them, just sobbing because they were like, that's my family, and I feel like this play really let me in a way that many other plays with a black cast will not let me in. I feel like I'm like, okay, I'm watching their experience is different than my experience.
But this one
cool.
was more universal.
Yeah, it was really special, and I'm really honored that I was able to be a part of that. But yeah, it just solidified theater it's hard. It is hard in a different way, you know, because going through an entire journey.
More work than other nights.
And going through an entire journey, especially if it's emotional or physically exhausting every night. It takes a different kind of stamina. I mean, having to do an emotional scene, for example, or a physical scene in film, you have to do that scene all day. You have to keep it up all day long, you know, but there's a lot of coffee sometimes, a lot of 5 hours.
That always helps.
A lot of cocaine.
Lots of coke.
You know, just whatever.
Let me get to Sammy in Philadelphia. You had a question for Tracy? Hi, Sammy.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I finally called.
I'm glad you did. I had to pull it out of you.
Yeah, but my question was, during that episode in Cold Case, you know, with the deaf kid, did you learn any sign language?
I learned a little bit that I forgot. We had to all know. We had to learn in that moment. We all learned action, cut, things like that to help us communicate with the actors, because we had actual deaf actors in that episode, and it was really interesting and challenging to shoot the scenes, because we had interpreters there, and you know, we always wanted to make sure that everybody knew where everybody was, and there were some scenes that there were delays that would happen, but it was really, really beautiful, and it was one of my favorite episodes that we ever shot.
Mine too.
And our actors were really incredible. They were amazing kids. And we loved them.
What a great question, Sammy. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sammy.
Thanks for calling, Sammy.
Yay.
That's
Did
awesome.
it. She was very nervous.
That's sweet.
I worked on background on an episode of Switched at Birth lately, watching Marley Matlin work, speaking of deaf people, and those scenes, the director working with them, absolutely amazing how they get those done.
Right.
It's also like when you're doing a live show and they do the interpretation show with the signers, you know, for the audience. I find it so hard to not watch them because they're so expressive and so.
It's like the language, the deaf culture is such a beautiful culture. Yeah. And sign language is such a beautiful language. If you see what movements go to different words and how it means more of the word than the word does.
Yeah.
Do you know? It's like, that's what that actually means.
Right.
Yeah.
More than this stupid word that's just describing something. What you're doing with your body describes that thing, that feeling.
Much deeper understanding of the word when you see the sign.
Absolutely.
I went to a 12-step meeting where there was a signer, and that was really interesting. Because when people were sharing, the signer was signing what they were sharing and also signing that they were, you know, if they were crying, or it was just so. And then I wasn't even listening to what people were saying. I was just.
I know. You're just watching how the expressions come out of them.
Yeah.
Oh, yay!
Gosh, we have
Okay, we're getting some calls.
four calls on the lines.
Oh,
4 calls on hold right now.
Somebody had to break the ice. Thank you, Sammy. Breaking the ice.
How about let's go to Breon from Detroit on line 2. Hey, Breon. Oh, okay. We're gonna put Breon on hold. Keep holding, Breon.
Keep holding, Breon. I want to talk to you.
I do want to know about Death Proof.
How that happened.
Yeah.
Let me tell you how that happened. Okay, this is a cool story. Okay,
Nice.
so what happened was. Okay, I'm trying to do this quickly because I'm long-winded. So I found out about Death Proof from my friend Kevin Daniels, who's closing in Magic Bird tonight on Broadway. He told me about it because he heard about it, so we inquired, blah, blah, blah. Quentin at the time was only seeing people he knew. So I had to go on tape with the casting director, Mary Vernew, because she loved Cold Case. She's like, I'll put her on tape, show it to Quentin, whatever, did it on tape. So at this point, it's a weird thing with actors, and you'll be able to understand this. We fight so hard to get into the room that actually getting the job doesn't really occur to us. It's like we're just trying to get in the room.
Yeah.
Is the goal.